Good afternoon. We are here. She's not sure. Are we live? We are live. Yeah, she's got a thumbs up. We are live on. Thank you very much for that, Jenna. As you can see, it's not her job. We're live on Ask AJ, and we've got a very special Ask AJ today because not only are we streaming live to the AJ Lakes, Ashdown Jones the Lakes, and Ashdown Jones the Dales page simultaneously, because we are so popular and our broadcast reaches far and wide. I also have two fantastic new guests on the couch with me today. I feel a bit like Parkinson or something. You probably don't know who that is. So this is Tori, and she is a new starter. She'll be working here in the Lakes. And this is Molly. Great name, by the way.
Thank you.
Her name from Molly. It's a very good name. She's going to be called Molly too. And she, TWO, she is going to be based over in the Dales with Lauren and Megan. So we've just been in some training here. And you're on like day 8 or something, apart from your taster days.
Yeah.
And you've been in a lot of training, haven't you? And what I wanted just to cover to anybody who's watching is why the training we do is so important here at Ashdown Jones, and also what kind of training is important. Because there's something called, you might have heard of this, National Association of Estate Agents, NAEA training. And that means that is all about way leaves and rights of way and easements and covenants and lots of legalese jargon that actually most people don't know anything about. And of course there are some occasions where we need to know about something particular about a home for us to be able to guide the buyer and seller effectively. However, I believe, and Phil believes, that it's all about attitude of our team here. And actually, Molly, you just got some really lovely feedback, didn't you?
Did.
From a lady.
Yes.
What did she say to you?
She said that every aspect of her journey with Ashdown Jones has been fabulous, and she's loved every conversation. She's only had positive things to say, and she'll highly recommend us to anyone.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah,
and actually, her journey's been quite long, because she had us out to value her home a couple of years ago.
And then she never went on the market with it. But she just said that everyone was so lovely with that as well, and that decision. I think it's quite a tough, difficult family decision. And she said everyone was so lovely about it. And then coming up till now, she's actually just said no to the property, which is, kind of negative, but she had such positive spin on it.
So she's viewing homes with us.
Yeah.
She didn't like what we showed her, but she still was really positive about us.
Yeah.
And hopefully, because of that, she feels that she's in a trusted environment and that she can tell us when she doesn't like a home, and she can tell us what she does want in a home, and we can help her. And then maybe we might be able to help you sell your house as well eventually, if that's right for you. We had a lady years ago, actually now, who had her home valued at 900,000, and we valued it at 1.15. So she very rightly, with her husband, said, well, hang on a minute, where have you got that figure from? Is it a finger in the air? No, we said, we have evidence to back this up. We managed to get 1.15 offered for the house, at which point the lady went, I don't really want to move. I would like an extra £100,000 to enable me to find the home of my dreams. So now we're on 1.25. So I spent all day with the buyers trying to persuade them to pay an extra £100,000, and they agreed. Phone her up, she's not over the moon at all, because she doesn't really want to leave her beautiful home, and it was beautiful, but she agreed. The next morning, which was a Sunday morning, she phones, and I see her name come up on my phone, and I know. And she goes, I can't do it, Sam. I can't move. I can't. So we went out for a coffee. She's in floods of tears. She's plying me and Phil with bottles of gin and cakes at home ground and apologising. And I just said, look, if you're happy, we're happy. That's it. Yes, we're not going to be able to sell your beautiful home. And yes, we're not going to be able to take our fee from it. But actually, if you're happy and we're happy, then at some point in the future, I'm sure we'll do business. And what goes around comes around. And sure enough, 6 weeks later, she decides to sell. And even right at the last moment, I thought she was going to change her mind, but she didn't. She sold. And she said to me, and she still says to me now, I heard what you said, Sam. If I'm happy, you're happy. That's what she heard. And that doesn't come from being transactional. It doesn't come from trying to get the best for the agency all the time. Sometimes what's best for the homeowner and what's best for us are two different things, aren't they? So, Tori, we've just spent quite a long time this afternoon, haven't we, talking about attitudes at work and teamwork and everything. What kind of things resonated with you?
I think the main thing that kind of stuck out to me was if you turn up to work with a positive attitude and a lovely smile and dress properly and just in the right headspace, that makes a huge difference to you and then all your colleagues around you, which is lovely.
I think as well that if you weren't happy,
Yeah.
because you hadn't had the training, the support, you were put in challenging situations without backup from us, and you were doing a job you didn't like, or you weren't a good fit for, or you didn't feel valued or appreciated, how can you then be the best version of yourself for a client?
Exactly, yeah. You can't. You really can't. It's so difficult, and if you're not in the right headspace, and because of the training or because of your colleagues around you, it's impossible. You can't do a good job because you don't have the right support network around you, the right family and the right people. And it's
We've
so
got team
important.
family, aren't we?
Yeah, team family.
Family first.
Yeah,
It
family
is.
first.
One of our core values, our main core value. So what we do encourage our team members to do is to support each other, because by supporting each other and helping each other, even when they have tricky days or difficult conversations, and maybe you've been part of a difficult conversation with us and you know how challenging it is, and actually how our team take it to heart when you do have a challenging conversation. It could be that two buyers are after the same house and only one buyer can win and the other buyer loses out, and we really feel for it. And we do have team members sometimes in tears about that, because they do take it really personally, and I don't think you can be a good client executive if you don't take it personally. But we have to give our team support and help and guidance and training to be able to do that effectively. So our mantra here is team first and client second. And I know that the industry thinks that the customer is always right, and you may feel as a customer that you are always right. However, if we treat our team with respect and kindness and support and value them on their journey, they'll be able to do a much better job for you. Because actually, if you answer the phone all happy, Tori, or maybe you just heard one of Phil's really rubbish jokes and it's made you giggle a little bit, Molly, then when you pick up the phone, you're going to be a ray of sunshine to somebody, aren't you?
Always.
Something we have taught you that you are just getting to grips with is things that we don't say.
Yes.
And they're just as important as the things that we do say. Can you give me an example of those?
No problem is my worst one. It's
Not
taken
the worst one.
It's taken me a while. I used to say it all the time, and I really do. It's one of these things. I haven't said it today. Yeah, it's one of those things that's just kind of like bet into you, and you just don't even think. And I remember saying when you first said that, I thought, I'm never gonna be able to do that because I just say it so like naturally and organically. But it's now something I'm really, really aware of, and I know when I'm about to say it, which is something that's really crazy in my mind. Because I know when
after like 8 days.
Yeah, I know when I'm about to, a situation's about to come up when I'm going to go thank you, and I'm going to say no problem. So I say my pleasure, or of course, or it's no problem.
You do so well.
Okay. I don't have my sticky note.
Why do you think it's important we don't say no problem? Why is that being demonised here? What do you think, Tori?
I think because it's so, I don't know the right word here.
What do you think, Molly?
It's negative. It's too negative. It's no problem.
It's two negative
It's
words.
negatives.
Do you remember when I said it came from as well?
No.
It's neighbours that brought it over to our country in about 1986, yeah. In this country, we didn't say no problem before about 1986.
I suppose, it doesn't,
So it's neighbours, it was the programme that people started saying what they were saying. So Kylie and Jason have got a lot to answer for, and they were saying no problem, and then we all started saying no problem. And it's a real go-to in hospitality, and that's also because Antipodean people have instilled it in our hospitality industry.
Yeah.
But if you go out for, I don't know, if you go to Pizza Express, which is where Hannah used to work, or you go to, what's the restaurant you used to work in?
The Hawthorn
Where is it?
in Haworth. Go check it out.
The Hawthorn in Haworth, go check it out. Then what you'll get is, you say thank you to the waiter or waitress, and you'll hear,
No problem, you will.
Yeah.
All the time.
And now you've got to unhear it. It's constant. And so one of the reasons we have a standard is actually to have a standard, because it's important to hold yourself true to standards, I believe. So actually just not saying no problem makes you think about every interaction and how you can up-level it.
Definitely, yeah.
So it's my pleasure.
It's my pleasure.
Sounds so much nicer.
Of course.
Of course, yeah. We also say things like, in fact, Jenna wrote an amazing email recently that started off with some words that we actually just don't say. She didn't even say it in person, but she decided to put it in an email. I'll tell them. You started off with, unfortunately, and the next bit was, due to unforeseen circumstances. So I said to her, imagine you're writing an email or a message to a friend. I don't think, if she couldn't come to a barbecue, for example, she might write to me and go, really sorry, can't make it, daughter's ill. Right? You're not going to go, dear Sam, unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances. So what I think we do here really well is we talk like normal people.
Yeah, which is nice. It's one of the first things I noticed as well.
It's quite hard not to talk formally, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got me the other day.
What did you say?
I said, and what is it in regards to?
Yes.
What is that regarding?
Yes, what is that regarding?
I said, yeah, and actually, when I was on the drive home, I was thinking of different ways I could say it. Like, and what would you like to talk to me about?
Yes. Or will Edward know what it's about?
Yeah.
Or can I tell Edward what it's about? Yeah. And what was the other thing that you said? So what did I ban you from saying yesterday, Tori?
Well, it was just today.
Oh, just
Just
today,
is a
yeah.
really bad one. I always say just. So it's just me speaking. It's just this. It's just that. That's
It's
awful.
just Tori. It's never
awful.
just Tori. This is Tori.
Yeah,
from Ashdown
It's
Jones.
really awful actually. Now that I think about it, you're really
It's-
understanding.
You are understanding yourself, yeah. Imagine if a client phoned and said, "Oh, it's just Mr. Smith." It's not just Mrs. Smith. It's a very important Mrs. Smith. Yeah. And then yesterday,
What was the other one?
system.
Yeah, system. Yeah.
It's just one of those associations words, isn't it? Oh, your details are on the system. And,
Just checking the system.
Just checking the system.
Bear with me
Yeah.
1 second while I check the system.
Yeah. But nobody wants to be a number on a system, do they?
No.
Do you say that?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah.
What do you also call your teammates? Call them something.
Colleagues.
Colleagues.
Yeah.
Well, we never say colleagues, do we? I never say colleagues. So I might say, oh, it's Hannah, or it's Edward, or
Yeah.
you need to speak to Edward, he's head of our client experience, not you need to speak to our colleague. He's actually not head of client experience, it's Hannah. So just making it more personable and personal, and I think that's the differentiation that we would like to make sure that people understand about Ashdown Jones. That you won't feel like you're just a number, that you're on the system, and anything that you say is a problem, and we are not just, and we don't have colleagues. We are real people, just like you, and we understand the challenges that you're facing because we have either faced them ourselves or because somebody that we've worked with or we know is facing them as well. And therefore, we're in the best position to help you if we just treat each other like equals. And if we can talk to you in a real way, you'll trust us more and you'll feel more relaxed when you're working with us. And when Tori has to come in and, I don't know, move your mum's ashes off the mantelpiece because we need to take a photograph, you'll entrust your mum's ashes to her, we hope, because the way she communicates with you is all about building that trust, and it's about having that mutual respect. And when you phone Molly and say, you're really sorry you can't come to a viewing today because your cat's been run over, Molly will probably be in as many tears as you are, because it will be really sad, yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring this down. The point is that we can empathise and we're here to help you and guide you. And if you're happy, we're happy, whatever. And it's our pleasure.
Absolutely.
So thank you for watching this. All about AJ training, a little bit behind the scenes with the lovely Tori from Ashdown Jones in Windermere and Molly, very soon to be Ashdown Jones in the Dale. So give them a ring and say welcome.
Yes.
Please do.
Bye.
Bye.